Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is December 26th, 2022, and it's the day after Christmas. Most markets are closed. Most financial markets around the world are closed. So we're actually in a situation that we're not typically in, okay? The US dollar index, US dollar currency index, is actually not trading today. We don't typically see that on a Monday, okay? Typically, we all know that the DXY, the US dollar currency index, one of our main indicators that we use to figure out what the cryptocurrency markets are doing, that typically trades every day, all day, every day, except obviously in the evenings, New York time, from like 5:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Times, Monday through Thursday. And then on Friday, it stops trading at 5:30, and then it starts trading once again at 5:30 on Sunday evening, okay? So today's an exception, okay? And we're going to look at that, okay? We're going to look at that. We're going to look a little more as to what the DXY is, because I think it's very important, right? I know even as crypto traders, people that are interested in cryptocurrency, even if you're not interested in the regular financial markets or the traditional financial markets, you should know what the DXY is because it's such an important and powerful indicator, okay? It's basically the US dollar currency index. The basket of currency, the dollar traded against a basket of currencies, right? A basket of world currencies, right? So it's basically showing you the strength of the dollar. So we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at obviously the Bitcoin charts. We're gonna look at some altcoin charts, and we're gonna figure out why Santa did come yesterday. Okay, yesterday was Christmas. I know some people celebrate, not everybody celebrates, but let me tell you something. Santa did show up for people in crypto, okay? Santa showed up, and he left gifts, but not everybody notices. Some people didn't even see him coming. Some people don't even see the gifts. So we're going to open our Christmas gifts today, all right? One day late. I'm going to show you what Santa left under the tree. If that interests you guys, stay with me for this next hour or so. We're going to get into some analysis. I'm excited. Hope you had a great holiday. Hope you're having a great holiday wherever you're at. Hope you're safe, healthy, as is your family, and warm and all that stuff. All right. Let's get started with just a quick look at Bitcoin, okay? We're gonna start with Bitcoin, but then we're going to come back to it, so don't worry. All right? First thing I want to say is this. A lot of people are being lulled to sleep with this consolidation. A lot of people are being lulled to sleep with this, right? It's just, oh man, it's so boring. Very little volatility. Not much is going on, okay? And this is the strength of context. I always talk about this on the channel. If you're reading markets, it's very important to be able to read context. So look, right now you're on the hourly time frame and you see some up and down price action. What does it mean? To understand what this means, it's important to be able to zoom out, okay? And zooming out gives you context. Zooming out on Bitcoin gives you context, right? On the daily, on the 4 hourly, whatever. And trying to understand, okay, what this could mean, right? In the grand scheme of things, okay? Looking at all of this as a contiguous structure, as a contiguous trading range. This provides some context for what may be happening here, and more specifically here, right? So context is very important. Obviously, we use Elliott wave theory on this channel as our main tool of analysis, and that gives us a lot of context. So if you follow this analysis, you know my thoughts on what we could expect with a high degree of probability, okay? So Bitcoin pretty much hasn't moved much from there, okay? But that's not a big deal, and that's to be expected, okay? Why is it to be expected? Briefly, and again, we're going to get into this later on in the live stream, but it's to be expected because in a bull market, if this is indeed the beginning of a bull market, right? If we're looking right here at the bottom, here, let's go back on the daily. If this is the bottom of this massive accumulation range, right? If this is a massive Wyckoff accumulation for this bear market drawdown, right? All of this is a bear market accumulation and you're looking for a move up. If that's the case, then you actually will see altcoins move first. Again, if this is the case, that this is the end of the bear market and we're going into a new bull market, Bitcoin is going to be one of the last movers because altcoins typically lead the bull market, okay? Altcoins are more volatile, they lead the bull market. So we should, in theory, see altcoins move. 2 episodes ago, or last episode, I don't remember, I showed you an altcoin that literally moved 35%. I said this altcoin has moved 35%. Watch it. Literally within the next few hours, it moved 500%. 500%, okay? That is exactly what you can expect in a bull market. Some random altcoin, and that altcoin in question was Convergence, and it moved 500, or no, it was 600%, like an hour after I posted that video, okay? So, again, you know, just because Bitcoin's sleepy doesn't necessarily mean the crypto market's sleepy, because Bitcoin is a lagging indicator at the beginning of a bull market, or in a bull market, right? For upwards price action. Okay, now, let's move on to the DXY, because this is interesting, and this is not something you see every day, okay? It's Monday the 26th, okay? The day after Christmas. Most every culture, most every continent, I'll say, wait, how do I say this? Excuse me. Most people celebrate Christmas. I'll say this. Obviously, there's a lot of Muslims and Jews and, you know, non-Christians in the world. But in terms of the financial industry, of most financial markets, let's say that's the phrase I'm looking for. Most of the world's financial markets, most of the major financial markets celebrate Christmas. As a result, this is one of the few days of the year that you will see the DXY not trade. The DXY is essentially the US dollar, the most powerful currency on the planet, and it moves every market, okay? We know it moves Bitcoin. Why? This is not just a belief, this is not an opinion, this is fact. This chart, which I've shown many times on the channel, proves that without a doubt, right? Incontrovertibly, that Bitcoin is correlated to the DXY, okay? If the DXY goes up, the DXY is on the bottom here, Bitcoin goes down. The DXY goes down, Bitcoin goes up, okay? So we know that it's important from that standpoint, okay? So this is why on this channel, we're always looking and seeing, okay, what's the DXY doing? Is it going up or is it going down? But look, it's the 26th of December, the day after Christmas, and the last trading activity that you can see on this chart, right, for the DXY is the 25th. It pretty much just opened but didn't really move on the 25th. Right, we expected the DXY to start trading yesterday, which was Sunday, right, at around 5:30 p.m., which it always does every Sunday, New York time, Eastern Standard Time, right? But it opened and nothing happened. Nothing happened because this is one of the few times in the whole world, in pretty much the whole calendar year that the DXY doesn't trade, and I'm going to show you why. And to answer that, we're going to have to go into the DXY, and this is really good. This should be part and parcel of your financial education. I think if you're serious about trading, you should know what the DXY is. You should know where it comes from and all that stuff, how it's calculated, okay? So I'm on Investopedia. Investopedia is a great source for, basic financial information. So we're going to just have a look at this for just together, right? We're going to learn about the DXY and why it's not trading today. This is very important. And some people say, well, whether the DXY trades today or not, crypto is 24/7. Yes, it is. But what did I just show you here? That Bitcoin is inversely correlated to DXY. And a multi-billion-dollar market, right? Hundreds of billions of dollars trades based off of this underlying asset, this dollar, okay? So typically, when Bitcoin goes up and down, it's not because people are pumping hundreds of billions of dollars in or removing hundreds of billion dollars out. It's because the DXY goes up and down, and that creates fluctuation in Bitcoin's price. That also creates fluctuation in major stock, in the prices of major stocks. But if the DXY is stagnant, it's unlikely that you'll see major moves in Bitcoin. I'll repeat, if the DXY is stagnant, which it is today, and I'm going to tell you why that is, okay, so just hold on. It's unlikely to see major changes in Bitcoin. Only expect major changes in Bitcoin, in Bitcoin's volatility once the DXY starts trading again tomorrow, okay? Or I think tonight, right? I think it would open tonight at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right? So let's look at this. All right. Give me 1 second. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. I don't see anybody talking about this, at least in this level, at this level of detail. Okay, so what is the US dollar index? Okay, we call it the Dixie, the DXY. It's technically the USDX, right? And it's essentially a measure of the value of the US dollar relative to a basket of foreign currencies, okay? And it was started in 1973 after the end of the Bretton Woods Agreement, okay? And it's maintained by the Intercontinental Exchange. And it's if you go on the Intercontinental Exchange website, they'll actually tell you the trading hours. But interestingly enough, if you go on the Intercontinental Exchange website, they won't tell you that today is an official holiday for the DXY, because there are no official holidays for the DXY. The DXY doesn't stop trading, unlike the US Stock Exchange, all these stock exchanges of the world. But because the DXY is an index, it's a reflection of all of these other foreign currencies that the dollar is traded against. It will reflect their activity. So if they're not trading, the DXY is de facto, by default, not trading. Does that make sense? So the DXY technically doesn't have any holidays, but because it is a reflection, it's directly correlated to the six different currencies that the dollar traded against. Then if those six are closed, then the DXY is essentially effectively not trading, okay? So the six currencies included in the USDX are often referred to as America's most significant trading partners, but that is only slightly true. We all know that one of the most significant, important trading partners to the US are the Chinese. and the Chinese yuan is not one of the currencies listed in the USDX, which is very important. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So we have the euro, the Swiss franc, the Japanese yen, the Canadian dollar, the British pound, and the Swedish krona. Again, the 6 currencies that the DXY is used, that are used to measure the DXY or the US dollar currency index are the euro, the Swiss franc, the Japanese yen, the Canadian dollar, the British pound, and the Swedish krona. Okay? And so essentially, there's actually a calculation about how each one of these currencies is taken into, is measured, right? So like, they're not all equally weighted in the calculation of the US dollar currency index. The euro is the most important currency. That it makes up more than half of the calculation of the DXY. And so, I know this can get a bit technical, but just think about it very practically. Okay, so if the dollar is measured against currencies that it's traded against, right? That means the dollar is strong when those currencies are weak, and vice versa. The dollar is weak when those currencies are strong. Okay, so the euro making up by far the majority of the 6 currencies, the weight of the 6 currencies. If the euro is weak, the dollar will appear strong. So another way to look at the DXY is basically saying, this is how strong the dollar is with respect to the euro. That's an oversimplification, but it's a simple way of thinking about it, okay? And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can look at the history of the DXY and all of that stuff. I think what's really important to us trading cryptocurrencies is this right here, okay? None of that matters if this doesn't exist. If this correlation, right, since 2014 to present day doesn't exist. And this tells us that the DXY is worth paying attention to, the DXY is worth following, the DXY is worth understanding, and it's moving Bitcoin, right? All of the theory, all the other stuff can be put to bed, and this is the most important thing. So, is the euro trading today? No, the euro is not trading today because the euro is kind of Western European. It's European, right? And it's a Christian state mostly. Most Christians come from Europe and the West, right? And so you have, most of these countries in this exchange, rather, the European exchange, they are, what am I trying to say? They recognize Christmas, and they recognize Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas, the 26th, right? Especially if Christmas falls on the weekend. So they're not trading, right? The Japanese are probably the only one trading today. The Swedes are probably not trading today. And you can look all of this up. The Swiss are not trading today. The Canadians are not trading today. And the British are not trading today. So this is why the DXY is frozen today, okay? And if the DXY is frozen today, Bitcoin is likely also going to remain frozen. Hence, why Bitcoin is seemingly not moving. People are like, oh my God, what's going on? Why is it not moving? Nothing's happening. It's not that nothing's happening, but it's literally, it's not doing much, right? Very little volatility. But do expect volatility as soon as trading commences, when at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, pre-trading starts of the DXY, and then it officially opens at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? The day before the trading day. So that would mean if tomorrow is an official trading day, the 27th, then tonight, in approximately 4 hours, this should start moving. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope that helps, because people are like, oh my god, Bitcoin's not doing anything, and crypto's dead, it won't move, right? Like, kind of like trying to move it with a stick, like a dead animal. But it's not that. It's because the DXY is frozen. Okay? But if you know where to look, you'll know that what the likely next move is right here. Okay? So a lot of times when you see reduced volatility, it precedes a big move, right? And a lot of times reduced volatility can precede a big drop, or it can precede a big pump. Okay? Here, reduced volatility led to a big drop. Here, reduced volatility led to a bit of a drop. Okay? But will this repeat, or will this go up? Or will you get a combination of both? Something like this. I vote for the last. I believe, and I said this 2 days ago, or whenever the last time I did a live was, this is the next area of support. Don't be surprised if Bitcoin, once trading opens at around 5:30 p.m., right, does this. That's what I think is likely. In my experience, trading the markets, that's likely. Why else is that likely? Because I'm looking for 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot, okay? And thus far, I've gotten 1 degree of AB basing, okay? 2 degrees of AB basing, and this will be my pivot right there. And that's my breakout. So even in this region, when we're looking at trend changes, right? And what do I mean by trend changes? Going down to up, or up to down. You need to put in 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot to then change the direction of the price. And so that's what I'm looking for. So again, our skills in Elliott wave theory, they inform us of the likelihood of that move. Okay? Of a down-up move. Also, remember, when the DXY opens, it's probably going to gap up or gap down. Whatever it does, it's going to go in the opposite direction and then switch directions. If you follow my work, you know what I'm talking about. We follow this every Sunday, back when I had Sunday shows. I don't anymore. But when the DXY gaps down, for instance, right? Meaning it dumps from the previous close and it opens lower, okay? It's going to fill that gap before resuming that trend, right? And we can see examples of that. I'm not even going to go into that, but essentially, do expect, if we're going to get a big move up, do expect a move down first, okay? That's all I'm saying. So just be prepared, and, because you're good traders, you know that the name of the game, if you're betting up, protect against downside. And protect against downside by looking at the previous move, which would be maybe this one right here, and take 1.618 standard deviations of that move to the downside, and make sure that range, that trading range, is free and clear. Meaning your stops and your liquidation points are not within 1.618 standard deviations of that previous move. So right here, let's say this is our previous A wave, okay? Here's the 1618. So I would have my stops and liquidation points hidden below this level, okay? So that's what I'm seeing in Bitcoin. That is not... I don't think we're going to come all the way down there. I still think that if we come down, I think at most we come down here to this level. Okay? But again, protecting against downside risk is you're protecting against the worst case scenario for your trade to be valid. Or how did I say that? You're protecting against the worst case scenario so that your trade is still valid, right? Does that make sense? So whatever happened, if it retraced to the maximum extent of retracement and still a valid consolidation reversal, right? It can come all the way down to that 1618 and still be a contiguous consolidation reversal pattern leading to a breakout, right? Trend change. I hope I'm making sense. If I'm not, just ask questions. So yeah, that is what I'm looking for, and that's why I'm looking at it. But again, if you know how to pay attention, you know Santa showed up yesterday. Santa left gifts under the tree. What am I talking about? Obviously, I'm talking about the fact that in a bull market, altcoins will lead. In a bull market, altcoins will lead. We call that an alt season. Basically, altcoins front run that trend. Why? Because altcoins don't have to depend on the DXY. Altcoins aren't moving and fluctuating by hundreds of billions of dollars, okay? Like Bitcoin. Altcoins don't have to move all of that liquid. Altcoins are much more lean. The market cap's lower, so they're more volatile. As a result, the trends happen quicker, okay? And obviously, they have lower lows and higher highs, all right? So we can see this in the altcoins, all right? One of the most pressing examples, or one of the most clear examples on our watch list, and we're going to look at other examples, okay? Like Litecoin. Look at this. So the entire market has been in a sort of inverse head and shoulders. We could see that in Bitcoin, right? Inverse head and shoulders, okay? And I was like, oh, it's breaking out. It's breaking out. No, it didn't break out. But that inverse head and shoulders is a bullish construction. And here you had a breakout of that bullish construction. So this is proving to be a bullish move to the upside for Litecoin, and you can expect it to continue up, okay? So that is proof positive of our thesis that this was a reversal pattern. All of this was 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot, consolidation, reversal pattern, whatever you want to call it. It looks from, in terms of pattern analysis, like an inverse head and shoulders, which it is, and it yields a change in trend. Again, these consolidation reversal patterns are trend changers, right? If you're a pattern analysis person, you look at it in terms of just, you know, your inverse head and shoulders, all that stuff. But Elliotticians break it down to 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot, and they can see how you have this rounded bottom, the trend was down, you go through the two degrees of 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot, or the consolidation reversal pattern, the trend changes to up, the trend has changed to up. That may be the beginning of your bull run in Litecoin, okay? So you can see Santa left a gift, because that happened on Christmas Day. That happened on Christmas Day. Santa said, oh, crypto people, I'm not going to leave you without nothing. Here is the beginning of a bull run, where a lot of people in cryptocurrency markets, a lot of amateur traders, a lot of speculators, a lot of people on the news, when they think crypto, they think Bitcoin, okay? The flagship asset, you know? And because they may not know the nuance of, okay, how, you know, altcoins lead a bull market or anything like that, they just see nothing happen, so nothing happened. But Litecoin is a top, 20, top 30, top 10 coin? I don't know. It's a flagship coin in and of itself, right? One of the first ever cryptocurrencies. It's actually, this is the first cryptocurrency I ever invested in 2017. My brother told me about crypto. I liked the name Litecoin, so I bought some. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to read a chart or anything like that. I bought some. I think I sold some later, or I didn't. I don't know what happened. But this was my first cryptocurrency, I believe. That and XRP. And obviously Bitcoin, because at that time you had to buy Bitcoin to buy altcoins. You couldn't buy altcoins with stablecoins. There were no stablecoins in 2017. Crazy, right? But this is clearly changed trend, and this is broken out, and it broke out on Christmas Day. Let's look at another example. XRP. What do you see? Inverse head and shoulder. That's a neckline. That's a clear breakout. And that broke out when? It started breaking out on Christmas Day. Do you understand? Santa left you something, but most people don't know where to look. Okay, and I'm not talking about like what I'm going to talk about next, right? Which is a relatively obscure altcoin that you have to know a lot about crypto to even know that it exists. I'm talking about XRP, Litecoin. Like, these are flagship altcoins, okay? Now let's talk about the big mover. I mean, this is a massive mover, and this happened on Christmas Eve. Right here. Where is it? Right here. Okay? And a lot of you guys, I did a post. I also tweeted this. This is a beginning of the bull market. And that is incontrovertible proof. Why? When's the last time you saw something move 600% in a bear market? Look at that. Measure it. So when that happened, the 23rd, the 24th, right? So Christmas Eve, Santa showed up and said, I'm going to start this bull market. And again, measure it. That's an 800% move. From the 23rd to when it topped out, I think on the 24th. So in 24 hours, it did 8x. This is why crypto is so attractive to most people, to casual speculators, to people, that everybody. I mean, like, this is instead of playing the lottery, you can do this, right? And it's a crapshoot all the same if you don't know how to read charts and if you don't know how to invest. And there's a lot of traps and lot of sort of there's a lot of risk involved. Just like playing the lottery, but your chances are a lot higher. Literally, within 24 hours, you 8x'd your investment right here. That's the beginning of a bull run, okay? That's not a bear market rally. For people who think it's a bear market rally, that's fine. You know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But this is very, very clearly a change in trend, okay? The trend went down. I'm on the daily chart here. The trend went down, okay? It started doing this consolidation reversal pattern, okay, in May. And here is the change in trend right here. So you went through your 200 days of consolidation reversal for this convergence token, and then you shot up 800% in less than 24 hours. You saw that. That was a 20-hour move, okay? That's the type of price action that we expect and that we actually need to hit our targets high time frame, okay? Because if we look at our high time frame targets for Bitcoin, once again, and if you follow my work, you know what I'm talking about. Bitcoin is likely, by my estimation, to get into the millions by Q1 of next year. That's just in a few months. For that to happen, you need to have moves like you saw in convergence. That's the bull market scenario, or the bull market behavior that we're expecting, that we're waiting for, okay? So yeah, there's a lot of other examples. If you look around the market, right? This is just our general watch list, but as you can see, very little downside, relatively more upside. There's a lot more green than red, okay, in the market right now. And there are a lot of things that are just starting to break out. It's very slow, okay? Why is it slow? Again, has to do a lot with the fact that the DXY, the US dollar currency index, isn't currently trading, okay? But you can see here, breaks of structure. If you just want to look at it very simply, this was your downtrend. This is clear. This is clear resistance here, right? Do you see that? That's clear resistance. You broke resistance, you retested it, and you broke out. Sometimes it's that simple. This is breakout, retest, breakout. That's all this is. Go throughout the market, you'll see these breakouts. This happened on Christmas Day. Santa left something for people invested in sushi. Okay? Sushi swap. And, you're not going to see much in Bitcoin until later. Maybe tonight you'll see a move in Bitcoin. Again, don't be surprised if by tonight at around 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right, you see a move in Bitcoin and it starts to go. Okay? But a lot of other altcoins have already shown you what's likely to happen in these cryptocurrency markets. But you have to be paying attention, right? So on the much smaller time frames, you can see that, like RSR, for instance, this is in our watch list. It is doing a consolidation reversal on a smaller time frame, on this 15-minute time frame here. And we're looking for this breakout. Okay? But when we do get this breakout, you'll see the same thing. You'll see exactly the same thing. And this is what we're expecting, right? Based off of what we're seeing throughout the rest of the market and what the DXY is doing, all that stuff, right? Let's see. I don't know if there's a good diagonal resistance here, but in any case, this whole thing, I'm looking for 2 degrees of baby basing and a pivot, okay, and a breakout and a continuation, okay, just like what we're seeing in Litecoin, just like what we're seeing in XRP at the moment, just like what we're starting to see in Cardano, okay. Let's go back on the hourly time frame. You see that in Cardano? Cardano is one of the weaker performers, but look at what it's doing. Once again, you spy an inverse head and shoulders. What's that? That is a rounded bottom, a reversal pattern, a bullish construction reversal. It's a bullish construction and it's a reversal pattern. That usually leads to changes of trend. Okay, the trend was down. You go consolidate, reverse. You put in your 2 degrees of baby basing and a pivot, and you change trend. This is what the market's telling us. Again, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions. Everybody has a different opinion. And what are those opinions? You can see exactly what they are, okay? Go to CoinGlass. I mean, it's 2022, guys. We have so many resources, so many. Back like 5 years ago, to have all of this data, you had to be a big hedge fund and pay these massive subscriptions to these companies just to get a little bit of this information. But nowadays, it's all right here. But you just have to know how to read it, right? So CoinGlass, great resource. Watch this. You want to know what the market thinks. How many people are long? How many people are short? All you do, go to long versus shorts. Long versus shorts, right here. Okay? And you can see, and all you have to do right here is, obviously, you don't care about the degens, scalpers trading the 5-minute chart on no volatility. I mean, come on, what are you doing? So change the period to 24 hours, and you can see that pretty much half of the market is long and half of the market is short in Bitcoin. People are torn. They don't know. And again, this is expected because not everybody knows how to read. And so people who don't know how to read charts are reading Bitcoin and they're expecting, well, if it's low volatility, the trend is going to continue. Okay? And other people are saying, no, actually, this is a consolidation reversal, so it's going to flip this trend. Okay? So you have literally 50% of people that are long and 50% are short. It's almost split even. as you can see here by the long short ratio for Bitcoin in the past 24 hours. You can get even more specific, and you can look at the different exchanges, okay, for Bitcoin. Binance, for instance, is slightly longer. I mean, this just changed because I looked at it last night, and most people were slightly short. Okay, this was leaning a little more short. Bitfinex, the big players, and I always say, if you want to know what's going on, look at Bitfinex because that's where the big money trades. They've been long for months, just like we have on this channel. The majority of their positions are long, right? As opposed to most other asset or most other exchanges are almost half and half, okay? So all of this information exists and it's there if you know how to read it. Based off of what the altcoins are doing, Dogecoin, look, for instance, look at Dogecoin. Again, you see that inverse head and shoulders that I've been talking about here. This is a bullish, a potentially bullish pattern. And right now, it is poised to continue to the upside, okay? It's poised to continue to the upside. Your momentum indicators saying as much, okay? And yeah, that's pretty much the market, guys. That's my update. Hope you got value from this, and I hope you're well positioned to take advantage of the move that's coming. Again, I believe that we are going to get a big move in Bitcoin tonight. Okay, I'm going to repeat it because I know people jump on and off of the live stream at different times. But let me repeat very quickly and succinctly my Bitcoin analysis. Okay? Because the DXY, the US dollar currency index, which is the main mover of Bitcoin, right? Given that Bitcoin is a multi-billion-dollar market, okay? It's not that it moves because people pump hundreds of billions into it or they sell hundreds of billions of it at any given period of time. No, it moves mainly because the DXY, US dollar currency index, it fluctuates up and down, and that fluctuation leads to fluctuations in Bitcoin, okay? The DXY, or the dollar, is the underlying asset of Bitcoin, of most risk-on assets, of most commodities in the world, okay? So, DXY, given that it's the 26th Boxing Day, is not trading, okay? Most of the markets that are associated with calculating the DXY, the 6, the kroner, the euro, the franc, the pound, the dollar, the Canadian dollar, and then one more, whatever it is, they're closed. This is the one day of the year that all of these, Western European countries agree that, they to go on holiday. So their markets are closed, so the DXY is effectively closed. Not officially, but effectively closed. Given that the DXY is effectively closed for trading today, it's not moving, and so Bitcoin isn't moving. Once it starts opening up again tonight, Sunday, December 26th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for pre-trading, 6 p.m. for the beginning of trading, do expect volatility in Bitcoin. The first move that you are likely to see is a move down because I believe that it's going to gap up, perhaps. I think that we're going to gap up with the DXY. We're going to gap up, meaning we're going to open higher than we closed. That's going to result in a quick move down, and then we're going to quickly come down in the DXY, which will result into a big move. So on the small time frames, do expect this kind of move in Bitcoin tonight at 5:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wouldn't be surprised if that kickstarted the bull market. Merry Christmas. Guys, like, share, and subscribe as always, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.